All right, Lane Kiffin rang the warning bell about the expected changes coming to a campus near you soon. The roster cap number coming down, which it looks like an 85-man limit. He says that roster cap number coming down, eliminating walk-ons, you're going to see the Florida State situation, meaning their bowl game when everybody was gone and they just got crushed by Georgia. The move now is people have started to not play in bowl games so they don't get hurt to go in the portal. Now, I'm not even saying starters. I'm saying we had players on special teams, backups on defense, offensive teams. Like, why are you not playing in the Chick-fil-A Bowl, New Year's Six Bowl? And they're like, we don't want to risk getting hurt covering a kickoff because we're going in the portal. The next step meaning that if all these guys continue to do that and they leave, I don't even have walk-ons to throw out there. All right, that's one side of it. The coaches are screaming about this. But coaches screamed about the scholarship limits being set at 105 back in the 70s. They screamed when they went to 95. They screamed when it went to 85. This is different, though. You're taking walk-ons out. I mean, you're talking that's a whole lot of guys. But is Kiffin just doing the usual coach setting his hair on fire? Or is this legit? It could be a ruination of college football if you get rid of the walk-ons and you have an 85-man pure cap.
I don't think it's a ruination, but it could certainly hurt bowl games like he's pointing to.
But they're already hurt. Yeah. I mean, the bowl game's already staked.
Yeah. Well, it's even worse, though, when Florida State gets beat, 60-something or whatever, and a bunch of no-shows. So I think it hurts it even more in the bowl situation.
Yeah, it happened with Florida in a bowl a couple of years ago.
So you'll have some of that. The thing that, and I didn't really know this term until recently, like two-spotting. So what you do is you've got two teams over here in practice, like at Alabama, and then two over here. You're developing players, and a lot of those are walk-ons that eventually get scholarships. That's the biggest argument I heard in Destin, not the bowl opt-outs. It was about trying to build your roster, trying to develop players, and a lot of walk-ons, as we know, become scholarship players. That was the bigger thing that I heard as opposed to the bowl opt-outs.
And the bowl opt-outs, to me, again, that's not a really good argument because the bowls are already taking it in the shorts right now. You got teams that are already, players that are already quitting, and teams that are already getting blown out because their guys aren't playing. Well, Tennessee, Clemson, the Orange Bowl. Clemson was without two of their best defenders out there. Tennessee, didn't have some guys. So anyway, go ahead.
Well, I think what Kiffin is saying is correct, and we would have more Florida State situations. So more of those situations would occur if you have only 85 players on a roster and you have more players that drop out. Obviously, you're going to have more issues. But there's also the chance that revenue share opportunities will keep players in place for the bowl game because it'll be a part of their agreement with the school. I just think the bowl game argument is down the list of reasons that the 85 roster cap, or whatever it would ultimately be, removing players from roster. There are a number of reasons why that's problematic year-round. The bowl game would be lower on the list of reasons to cite.
Yeah, I think having enough guys to practice year-round is a big part of it. I think a bigger argument would be what happens if there's just an unbelievable run of injuries, a rash of injuries at one position.
Yeah, August through November is the bigger deal to me. The history tradition of college athletics is worth citing. The chance to develop and become a scholarship guy in the future, stories that come out of that as well. But the bowl game part is true. I just think it ranks lower on the issues.
And I would say, it's interesting, the point about that I made it there. It's what we do here, try and set up both sides, lure them in, and then attack them. But no, they did cry when they put a scholarship limit in at 105. They cried at 95. They cried at 85. This is different, though, because you're talking about some teams have 150 guys when you count all the walk-ons. Okay, you're not talking about we're taking 10 scholarship players away. This is taking 85 guys away or 60 guys away that we practice with, that we may need if there's a ton of injuries. This, to me, is serious for the coaches to be crying. I just think Kiffin's crying about he's not making the right argument.
Yeah, I can see that. And I also see where he's coming from with that. Yeah. But like I mentioned, the coaches down at the SEC spring meetings and were worried about what you're talking about roster, about having 6 players at a particular position get injured. Now you don't even have a walk-on to step in. That's what they were more worried about. I think they're going to settle it. I don't think it's going to be at 85, by the way. I think they're going to give them like 10 walk-ons, and that's it. They're going to limit your walk-ons, but I don't think they'll do away with all of them.
Oh, boy, what a mess it all is. They need to just break off and do their own thing and make their own rules. When we come back, it looks like the NCAA tournament will be expanding. Hurrah! So we'll talk about that. We'll also, there are a lot of people that say, well, you can't have a tournament without the little guys, without the Cinderellas. I think you can. I don't like it. I think you can. I think you will. I'll show you why next. Coming back.